How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a beautiful day. Today we are taking a look at the newly nerfed graveyard spell. So let's take a look on some builders' workshops and see if there is much of a difference. So first off, we have a completely different layout than what I usually see, and we're just going in from this left-hand side and seeing how the graveyards can do versus a lot of splash damage. The change of the graveyard spells is on ranks 1, 2, and 3. They get -2 skeletons per spell. And then on the max rank, they get -3 skeletons per spell. So for us, we're using the level 2s, which is the max level for the Builder Hall, or the Capital Peak level 8. So we'll be getting -6 on the first attack and then -12 on the second attack. So far we do still meet our goal of getting between 30 and 40% on the first attack and taking out a few of the key defenses. So now let's see how this second attack goes. We can see we have a very nice spread of the graveyard spells. And we're definitely used to seeing a massive amount of skeletons on the second attack. Maybe in the ballpark of 40 to 50 skeletons charging into the last portion of the base. So we did take out the last giant cannon, so there's no more real big splash damage left in the base. And not a whole lot of stuff is dying either, so we still have a good amount of skeletons left to spawn. We see that our troops took a very nice path and then went up towards the northern part of the base, and they're starting to wrap around. So we were able to watch both the top group and the graveyards in the middle and see how many skeletons end up spawning. So we should have only -12 skeletons on this attack, which is not that different than what we are normally seeing. So we don't have the crazy wave. However, we still have almost all of our troops still alive. So that is good. But so far, you can still definitely two-shot a weaker Builder's Workshop. So let's take a look and see if lightning strikes twice, and if we can do it again on another Builder's Workshop. Here we've got the variation of a standard layout, or the basic layout. So what we're doing is we're just making sure we take out this spear thrower so that we can have the majority of our troops path down to this bottom section. Try to take out this half of the base. We know from previous weekends that this is very possible, and that usually is pretty easy for the graveyard spam strategy. There's not too many threats as long as you protect your super wizards. So we have one group going up north. They are on their lonesome. And then we have our second group down south, taking out this giant cannon. And then we have our graveyard spell on the blast bow. We're trying to see if it is powerful enough to take out this blast bow on its own or not. So our southern crew ends up perishing. Just no problem. So we do have a bunch still in this central area. But so far we are approaching 50% of the base destruction, and we've taken out a couple of the key defenses. So far, it looks the same. This doesn't really feel like a nerf, more of just a little slap on the hand. takes the graveyard spell down just a notch for at least for the weak bases. Could be a completely different story at the capital peak level 10. Maybe it is now more balanced. We shall see. Just wrapping up here, and then we will finish up the base. But with over half the base destroyed, it is a very easy cleanup. Dropping the graveyards over on the right hand side of the base. We're going to do a couple of troops down on this southern section just to make sure it goes down very easily. Then we're going to start on the right hand side of the base so that the graveyard spells, when the skeletons spawn, they can do some tanking for the super wizards. And we're used to seeing a massive swarm on the second attack. So as long as some stuff is dying, there should end up being just a stampede of skeletons. And it still looks to be that way. I mean, these skeletons have nowhere else to go but up north here. So we're able to see exactly what has potentially changed. So at least at the Builder Hall, or Capital Peak level 8, there's not that much of a difference. And we do still have a mini swarm. Not quite as many, but still more than enough, which is awesome. And last but not least, we have a special attempt for you, which is a attempt at a one-shot. We have the standard layout, completely standard layout of the Builder's Workshop. And I'm continually trying to make this work at the District Hall level 8, and it is just slightly not powerful enough to get through all of the defenses. We get pretty close, but as you'll see, we start with the setup with the rams, drop in the hogs, and then we have the heal already set up so that when the hogs get in range, they can automatically start going back to full health. Open up the wall in preparation for the second phase. Now we can focus on this right hand side. As soon as the Spirit Thrower goes down, drop a giant to distract for the giant cannon. And all the hogs are now in the heal spell, which is good. However, the giant is down. So now there are going to be some devastating hits here. Oof, one hit takes them all down to like 55% health. Second hit takes them all down to 5% health. And the third hit takes down all but 2. Quite unfortunate. But that section of the base is done. We're now trying to work on this left-hand side. Supposedly, I tried to mix up the troops a little bit, but you're able to take out this section and then have one skeleton barrel go up and get the blast bow and the majority of the defenses over there as the hogs wrap around. So we drop down one, doesn't do anything, so we drop down another. We are able to take out the multi-mortar. And then as soon as the cannon goes down, we'll drop down the last ram to open up the wall and pop the 2 small bombs in that area. And then we have our final pack of archers to clean up this section. However, since we do not have any hogs, and we brought in 1 extra skeleton barrel, we do not have anything for this last section. So we drop it over here on the cannon to try and get a little bit more percentage. And as you can see, that is how this first part of the attack went. Not the greatest. Failed to get the 2 big sections of the base. But with 52% of the base gone, pretty much use anything. So now we're trying out the left-hand side and seeing how the one ram would potentially break and then pop that small bomb. And then we're bringing in 2 of the Larry barrels, since they're only level 3 and not level 4, to see how much of the base they can actually get. So while they're doing their thing, we're dropping in the rest of the hogs on the right-hand side. And we're seeing if they would potentially have enough power to get through the last giant cannon. In theory, if they were all full health at the end of that giant cannon in the first place, they would have enough health to get through this giant cannon with a few distracting troops. So the hogs do manage to take out that giant cannon, which is awesome. We throw it down the hill because we know we want to try and save as many troops as possible. But when we look back over here, the skeletons did not take out this whole side of the base. So still working on it, still trying to get better and better. But we do take out another builder's workshop in 2 hits. So all in all, I believe the graveyard spell is still in a very, very overpowered position. Not sure what needs to happen, but it is still more than viable to 2-shot a builder's workshop. If you want to help support me, you can like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for watching. There should be a couple more videos on the screen if you want to check them out. Until next time, take care.